I call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Stokes.
Here.
Starting off strong here.
Councilmember Todd.
Here.
Councilmember Saper.
Here.
Councilmember Schneider.
Here.
Councilmember Smith.
Here.
Councilmember Fitzgerald.
Here.
Councilmember Alvarez.
Here.
Councilmember Clark is not present.
There you go. And this evening, the pledge will be led by Councilmember Stokes. All right, next item is the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Next item, comments from the public. Anyone from the public wishing to speak this evening, please step up to the microphone. Good evening. That one is on.
My name's Belinda McCormick. I'm a resident on Fayette Street. My comments are regarding the house on 2111 Fayette Street. This is a location where there's been 2 known dog attacks. One occurred approximately a month ago. Subsequently, the dog that was attacked was died, and the owner had to go to the ER. I know there was another attack that occurred on April of 2023 sometime. That one was posted on the North Kansas City Facebook page. I don't know if that one was reported to animal control or not. But there's a couple pit bulls that live there. And I guess those are the ones that have done the attacks. And my concern is that the dog seems to still live at the house. The concern is that those dogs are always housed on the front porch. They could easily get out. They have gotten out in the past, from what I understand from other neighbors, a lot. And on the occasion of April in 2023, they were out roaming. That's when they did the attack. On the occasion a month ago, someone that does live at the house or doesn't live at the house was walking one of the dogs, and that's when the attack occurred. The concern is that those dogs can easily get out of their fencing in the front or the backyard, and I'm just really wondering, like, what are we supposed to do as citizens? They're at least 60 pounds, probably easily 70 or 75-pound dogs. And so what should we do as citizens when we're walking our dogs? If you have children, what should happen? How do we protect ourselves? Because it seems like those dogs are going to be allowed to continue to live there. I've been told that they're not living there, but we see them there a lot. I would have thought they would have been euthanized. I see here in the 6.12.090, no person shall own a dangerous dog, posing a physical threat to human beings or other animals. These seem like physical threats to human beings and animals. This seems like a danger to human life, and it seems like it's really just concerning. It's not a matter of if or when, it's just a matter of when this is going to happen again. Because it's happened twice, and it's clear that this person is either unwilling or incapable of keeping the dogs in their yard. I'm not even sure why they're still there if they have made these attacks. And I'd like, it to be reconsidered about the situation of why they're there, why they continue to be allowed to be there, why there's no enforcement of the fencing rule to the property, and what can be done to address the situation there for us.
Thank you. Can you make sure you leave your information with Crystal over there at the end as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, further comments from the public. Seeing none, give the clerk 1 second here for I move along on her. Oh, no, I don't need her for the next item, do I? It's the discussion item number 6, Northland Assistance Center lodging update. We just have Rita here this evening. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Rita Pierce, the Executive Director of Northland Assistance Center. I'm going to report on the statistics for December and our overall statistics, and then let you know how we're looking going into January, because I stood before you and said I'm the only director who turned down another $10,000, and we may very well need that. Amy, we're not having Bermuda shorts weather, unfortunately. I kind of hoped that we would. So for December, we have 36 entries, meaning room nights, and we provided $9,169.50 in December. That was just December. There was a lot of cold weather towards the end of it, some of it intermittent in between. So that's December. Overall, we have provided 57 room nights for a total of $13,829.46. And Councilmember Stokes, I took into consideration your question about do we have new people, not new people, the last time you asked. Well, there's always new people year to year, but I did look at the statistics for this year, and so far, there's about 15 core people that come in all the time for food and whatnot, and the rest of them are fairly new. Not really uncommon, the word has kind of gotten out. So far, not uncontrollable at all, but we have had quite a few new people. Because I was curious about that when you asked that, and I couldn't provide that information.
Perfect. Further questions from council? Councilmember Clark, go ahead.
Okay, this is 100% not personal. This is a true life question.
Oh.
The prison or the jail in Liberty is not receiving anyone when we put people there, right? They're not able to receive prisoners right now. It's full, or they turn them away. They're remodeling, so there's not room. So I'm very curious if those released, I mean, we experienced someone that was released, then caused harm to vehicles and things. Are we housing those individuals that are not able to go to the jail to be held and incarcerated? Are we then paying to put them up at the hotels?
I have absolutely no way to know that, but I will pretty much tell you that the individuals who are coming in are not coming from Liberty. So wherever they've been
No,
before.
here. Like some people, there was somebody, I guess I would ask.
Yeah, the county jail.
So just kind of jail. So anybody here that we would normally, because we can't hold them long here. We don't have a 24-hour cell here. We have like hours. Yeah.
Again, I have absolutely no idea. Only information we require of our clients is that they have a picture ID and they can go into the hotel. What I will tell you is that there's only been 3 people who've been asked not to come back, and the only reason they were asked not to come back is because they opened their windows and let other people in. We've had absolutely no problems whatsoever with any of the people who've stayed there. Now, I don't know if they left the jail to go there and they're behaving themselves. I would have no way of knowing that information. But it's not really a concern since we're not having any problems there at this time.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that would be a question. Is there ever a time that you guys, say, release a prisoner, excuse my language if it's not kosher to say that, but release someone that should have been imprisoned, and then they maybe go to Rita or referred to Rita? Does that occur?
We would not refer someone directly out of
Okay.
jail to Rita. Now, whether they go there on their own, we wouldn't track that either.
Okay.
There's just not, all I can say is there's been no concern with the hotel about the behavior of any of the individuals there, particularly in a dangerous kind of way. It's just not uncommon when someone, well, it's become quite uncommon because there's only 3 people who have been invited not to come back because they opened the window and let somebody else come in. They keep a really close eye, much to my astonishment, on everybody who's there. They know their comings and goings. I've worked with these people for a really long time, and I respect when they say somebody can't come, they never go there again, ever.
Good. Okay.
Because once they've, We are doing them a service, and if they are disrespectful of that service, there are other people in line who would like that service. And I never question the hotel when they say they can't come back. And I tell these clients the same thing. Too bad, don't argue your case with me.
Yeah.
They said no, no. Not only no now, no, never. And we're able to enter it into the system, so when we pull up someone's name, it literally says, not allowed to come at the American Inn anymore.
Okay, that's truly my curiosity.
Yeah.
Because it's
Well-
not you. I absolutely respect what you do.
Yeah.
But I was in a predicament where somebody had their car broken into, and it was like, because they couldn't be housed somewhere and go to prison, they couldn't, they had nowhere to put them, so they kept re-releasing this person that was causing damage everywhere, and I just thought, are we then housing this person? Like, it's a hard toss-up, so that was my
I'm
point of
unaware
question.
that we are. I cannot say we're not. I just say I'm unaware that we are. And I would be very surprised that these people would come to be housed at the American Inn, particularly given our proximity to the police department, which actually has deterred many people from even coming to my door.
Okay, thank you.
Further question, Councilmember Alvarez. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Since it was brought up, is the jail in Clay County close to being completed? Do we have any update on that, or no?
The last update that I had is the majority of the work was finished prior to Christmas. The company was going to be coming back this week, over the next 2 weeks, to kind of do punch list type stuff, and then anticipated reopening for municipal prisoners around the 1st of February. That's the last update that we were given. We've been given several updates throughout the year also, so we'll wait and see if that comes to fruition.
So maybe like another month, maybe,
Hopefully.
approximately, maybe.
Hopefully.
Be another update in a month. Councilmember Snyder.
I don't know, and we'd have to look this up. I know that it wasn't put in this last agreement as far as temperature and wind chill, but that was originally part of our plan, if it was below a certain temperature or the wind chill was cold enough. And I do have some concerns that we spent over $13,000, and looking at the whole month of December, there were only 4 nights that got down to 32 degrees or below, between 32 and 28 degrees. I know the wind chill could be more, but we used to have those requirements in, and I guess my direction to staff would be, if we continue doing this in years future, we really need to get that back in there, because this is for emergencies. And Mike, you heard me say that, right? Okay, and maybe look at what it used to be, and we can kind of use that to guide us, because other months like February, January, February should be much, much colder than this December that we had.
We did have that in the other agreement, but this agreement does not include that. And I look at wind chill factors. And it can be 45 degrees during the day, and the wind chill can be much less than that at night.
No, I
If
absolutely
they-
understand. Those were the temperatures overnight, but I understand that the wind chill could be lower.
Right, and that's what we looked at even when we had that in there. We looked at the wind chill. I would suggest that putting a specific temperature in would be very, very difficult to manage because of the wind chill. So, you know, you guys can do what you want to do next year with this, but if you just say 32 degrees, that's it, there's going to be a whole lot of people at night when the wind chill goes down to 17. Like this morning, I walked my dog, and the wind chill was 17, and the temperature was nowhere near
Yeah,
that.
I think there were two different cutoffs. It
No,
could
I think it was
either
just
be
one.
temperature or wind chill. At least in the emergency plan, it had a temperature or wind chill, I believe.
I don't know, but under this current plan, we do not.
Thank you. Further questions? Seeing none, thank you for the update.
Thank you.
Sorry, normally I have it. I can't. I'll find it. Good. All right, next item is consent agenda. Is there, right? Yep, consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
So say no. Motion carries. Flip. Boom. Let's see why. Is that current year? Number 12, current year 2024 KCATA contract for services amendment, full service hours for the 201 and 238 fixed routes, bill number 7823, ordinance number 9620. Do we have, yeah, I see Bryce is present as well. Would you like to kick this item off here? And hopefully, I don't think there's a lot to add on.
Yes, good evening, council. No, I don't really have a lot to add. This, obviously, there was a price increase for the full service hours, about $189,000, but that would bring the service back to the service that it was in 2023.
And this would be the full hours that the service currently runs.
Correct.
Okay. Questions from council? Councilmember Smith.
How we doing?
Doing all right.
I like the shirt.
Thanks. I'm trying something different.
There you
today.
go. I like it. First question for you. The Flex Bus, has it started running in Northtown yet?
Not yet. So because of our agreement with our union, it can't start until the 7th. So Iris is technically continuing until the 7th, and then the Flex Bus will start on the 7th.
Okay. Was the contract supposed to start on the 1st?
So the contract lists the 1st. But the contract did list the 1st. Yes, that was the original intention. However, with our union, had to start on the first Sunday of each quarter. The first Sunday is the 7th, which is why Iris is continuing for those 7 days.
Okay. I got the message out that the Flex was going to start New Year's Day, and a number of people have reached out and said, we don't see it. When we call, they're telling us another week maybe, so.
I understand. I had alerted staff. I'm sorry, that didn't reach the council. My apologies.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, second piece. Amount of passengers riding the routes after 6 p.m. I think you sent a bit of that over to staff. Can you talk
Yes.
about those numbers that you see?
Happy to talk about them. Yeah, so that took quite a bit of manpower because we had to do that manually, pull it from our system manually, and then I took the time to turn those into averages. So for the 2-in-1 weekday, these are after 6. Your average boardings is 12, and your average lightings, which is getting off the bus, if you don't speak transit lingo, is 15. On Saturdays, it's 9 and 14. Sundays, it's 8 and 15. And then for the 238 on the weekdays, you have 11 boardings after 6 and 10 lightings. Saturday, 8 and 9. Sunday, 11 and 11. And that is for the month of November. It would have been very difficult to keep pulling past that. A lot of man hours required there. So we were able to pull the month of November for that data. And of course, December will be available in the next few days, but isn't available quite yet.
Okay, so roughly 8 to 15
Give or take, yeah.
net passengers per route per day.
Yeah.
Okay, and the number's at $189,000. As I've had with the last few numbers, I have trouble getting my head around it. And I think I saw a back and forth email with staff about us continuing to ask for the calculation, the miles plus hours. So I'll go ahead, because eventually I'm going to cut a montage together of me asking for this every time. But I'll ask again for the miles plus hours calculation. And it sounds like the response from, I think, the CFO was, we're not going to give that to you. Is that right?
His purview to not release our specific finances on that. That is his choice. I have requested it.
Sure.
That is
You're the messenger,
President's.
not coming after you. So I will ask, because I've looked at the contract and I've exchanged an email with our legal counsel. There's a clause in there that allows us to audit
Indeed.
the financials and the books. And I would imagine that falls under the audit purview. That's a calculation that is directly affecting our city. And so I'm not certain why he doesn't want to provide that to us. It seems like a very fair ask. And so if not, I've asked, and I will ask staff to look into what that's going to entail, what our legal ability is to audit that, and to take a look under the hood of that calculation to see how it's all working out. I'm a little concerned that it's being held so close to the vest, that those cards are being kept that tight, and I really would like to see this before we move forward with an additional approval, especially given the numbers we're seeing from KCATA that we're looking at 8 to 15 total per day for almost $200,000. So I'm going to ask staff if we can look at what that would be. I don't know if you have any thoughts on what that would look like or what we would need to do. I mean, under your view, is that something that we should be able to look at under an audit?
The way the contract is written, I think absolutely, because it specifically says all books and records of KCATA. I mean, it doesn't qualify it. I see a lot of contracts over the years, and if someone wants to qualify something by eliminating something, they always put it in the contract. This has no limitation whatsoever. You can see it, it's in paragraph 11 if you have to happen to have it there, which is pretty straightforward. It's very simple to read. You really don't need to be a lawyer to understand that one.
Right, and so I understood from an email exchange that that was not the KCATA's position, or at least not.
There were two specific things, speaking with our lawyer and deputy CEO, that they did not believe would be auditable, which would be personnel records and some specific confidential documents regarding we have with other communities. I'm not sure what those are. That is the exact language. I will also add that we are audited annually because we use federal funds. Those audit is public. You're guys more than welcome to view that as well.
Sure, and I think that would be a good starting point. This would be, it seems like that is more a financial statement audit. This would be more the calculation that would feed in from those financial statements. So making the assumption that your financial statements are correct, which I'm certainly hoping is the case, it's more about how they're being used for this calculation.
Sure.
And that's what I'm going to seek. So feel free to report that back to the CFO. That's what we're likely going to pursue. Net of him just making it available, we'll compel it, or I will ask that we compel that. So
I will send the message.
But for this item in particular, I'm not in support of approving this tonight. I would push.
Councilmember Snyder.
First, I want to say thank you for your persistence, because Councilman Smith has been all over this the whole time and has really kept asking, even though we got shut down or didn't have it. The other message I would bring back, if you're reporting on how this meeting went, was if their decision was that they aren't going to share those calculations, they could have said that months ago. So, again, I'm just as disappointed as you, but I appreciate your persistence.
Further council member comments? Seeing none, Councilmember Fitzgerald.
Just a couple questions I received from the public, wanted to run by you. As far as accessing the Flex Bus, I guess once that starts on the 7th, will that be through, I guess, the same app it was done through, a year ago? Or
Yeah, it'll be
how
the
can people
previous
do that?
previous Flex app.
Okay.
And there's also the phone calling option.
Okay,
Monday
so
through
people
Saturday.
can call in or use the app.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Perfect. With that,
I also want to clarify something, because I want to apologize for an error I made the last time I was here. Because this is not technically a stop closure, the service would stop on the 7th, not the 30-day window. I had misspoken, and I confirmed that pretty much immediately after the meeting and let Kim know that if this were not be approved, the service would stop on the 7th. And I just wanted to make sure that was clear that that is the date.
The service after 6 p.m.
After 6 p.m., sorry, yes.
perfect.
I apologize again for my misspeaking there.
No problem. Thank you. Further comments? Seeing none, is there a motion? Oh, you did? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see that. Councilmember Alvarez, there we go.
I was just wanting to clarify, but it does run until 6 PM?
Runs until 6 to 6.
Right now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. With that, is there a motion for a first reading?
Do we have to have a motion to table it?
We can just not have it on this one and
cannot.
bring it up later. We can put whatever on an agenda.
You're-
Tom, what's the best
I mean,
idea to do that?
you're- What,
Yeah, if we want to talk about it at a future meeting after we have some additional data, do we just not motion and then let it come back? Okay. That works.
go ahead, Councilmember Snyder.
Is there no additional grant money available for the after 6, the extended hour services, or is there no money available to us because of when we're making the decision?
I have been told that all federal and state dollars have been allocated for the 2024 calendar year for the KCATA. So I did some math looking at that. So you guys are at about, with the proposed contract, is 31% of your cost is covered by federal and state dollars, compared to the currently existing contract that was approved 2 weeks ago at 38%. So what we had originally proposed back in earlier December was up to 33%. So we were actually exceeded that And then 31% with this pros contract, we are pretty dang close to that still. So unfortunately, there is no more additional dollars, but we were in that general target that we were aiming for.
Okay, thank you.
All right, if there's no motion or second, then I guess the item will die for lack of a motion.
I do have
Councilmember
one-
Smith.
Yeah, one quick follow-up. Again, this has nothing to do with you, but the fact that the flex didn't start when the contract says, I understand union hangups and all, but like that was the contract. Is there any rectifying that with the city? I mean, we're paying for the service from January 1st to the 7th and getting nothing yet. Do we get anything back for that?
On the other hand, you do get Iris
Eh.
at a cost that is more expensive than the flex. So
Not what the contract says, though.
It is
We've
true.
gotten very specific about what contracts say. I would petition the board to, whatever the flex cost is daily, to at least send back 7 days of that.
I can bring it up.
There you go.
All right, I'll ask again,
that's
is
all.
there a motion?
No.
Go ahead, Mike, please.
I want to be certain on what I've got here, is bring back when we get information, and I would ask, is that information regarding the audit that we can put together and/or a formula, or
Yeah,
no matter what?
I would like to see the books that have been audited, that those are available. And then I really want to see the miles and hours calculation. So however that looks to get a hold of it, whether it's, I hope we don't have to go through legal counsels to speak to legal counsels to get it. It's in the contract, should be to ask and then point to that and say, all right, let's go.
All right, well, let's take some sort of motion on that, make sure everyone's on the same page here. So let's clarify what the actual ask is here. You're directing staff to,
And
No,
until,
well, we just,
We're not
what-
tabling
the item will be,
Oh.
the item will be, we won't take action on the item.
Right.
I'm just trying to clarify exactly
Do
what
we
this
need
ask
a
is here.
motion on staff direction? I mean,
I think you'd want consensus here. I mean, you'd want to,
do we want like?
I mean,
just-
so it's clean as
can we just do
possible.
like a thumbs up of
Yeah,
like,
that's typically how we've.
Yeah, I mean, if we can at least get this cleaned up, because like, what is the ask?
The
With that,
what I'm asking to see is what I've asked for all along. I want to see the calculation for the miles plus hours billing along with the financial statements that back that up. And if it leads, if we have to go, again, this is me speaking out, but if it leads to or has to go through that audit process, because that's what the contract says, then we need to see what that looks like. I'd like more information on that.
But they also get to set their rates, I guess, at whatever rate they want to set their rates at.
Sure, and they can, but I would like to know how those rates are being set if we're going to keep approving.
But I think their point is that that's an internal process, and they're saying they can set their rates at whatever they want to set their rates at.
Yes, and we get to look at how that works. If they're pulling a number from the sky, sure, they can do that, but I want
Yeah.
that to be the case. I want to see that, not that there's some opaque calculation in a black box.
Okay.
And there's been alluded to all along that there is a formalized,
6, in a week, there's going to be people that can't get to or from work or whatnot.
Yeah, because that is the largest concern, because you're looking at, 135 people, 105 on the other route, probably 230, 240 a week.
I mean,
That would no
not,
longer have transportation.
that's rides. It's like
Yeah.
8 to 15 people.
I'm sorry, that was added together, yes, that was boardings and alignments.
I mean, it's that many rides.
Councilmember Stokes.
I don't disagree with you, Councilmember Fitzgerald, but I also think that there is still some transportation being provided, perhaps not in the time zones that they would like, but maybe they could adjust for this time period until we get it worked out. Maybe as long as we get the word out that this is how it's going to be, those 8 to 16 people can make adjustments during this short window in which we can hopefully fix the error.
Further comments? All right, then I guess I'll look for a thumbs up if council's good with the rest of the request, which was the, I guess, specific formula that these come up with there. 4, 5, 6.
Can
There you go. You can let it reflect everyone.
Can I
Councilmember
add
Snyder.
one thing? Or if we run into a brick wall and it's going to legally take a long time to make that request, can we bring it back and discuss where we're at with that? Because at that point, we may have more information as well as to how our changes are impacting our local residents.
Keep talking about it.
Sure. Yeah. Good.
Yeah, I'd imagine the next meeting, at the very least, an update, but hopefully, resolution to it, but at the very least, an update of where we're at.
That's what I was really
Absolutely.
looking for. I just don't want this to skip a couple meetings
Oh, yeah.
because that's, several work days for people.
Yep.
With that, we are done with item 12. Thank you, Bryce. See you again.
Good evening. Nowhere else I'd rather spend my Tuesdays.
Yeah. I thought we were done with you for a year, but we'll see you again. Welcome back to North Kansas City. Item 13, I'm going to skip as well. That is the corresponding budget amendment for item number 12. Item number 14 is approving accounts due and payable by the city through December 29, 2023, bill number 7824, ordinance number 9621.
First reading.
Second.
All in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries.
An ordinance authorizing payment for certain accounts due and payable by the city through December 29th, 2023.
I move that bill number 7824 be placed on second and final reading and pass as ordinance number 9621.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Stokes?
Yes.
Councilmember Todd?
Yes.
Councilmember Saper?
Yes.
Councilmember Schneider?
Yes.
Councilmember Smith?
Yes.
Councilmember Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Councilmember Alvarez?
Yes.
Councilmember Clark?
Yes.
An ordinance authorizing payment for certain accounts due and payable by the city through December 29th, 2023.
Item 15, staff comments.
We have no staff comments tonight. We'll say welcome to 2024, city version.
Last chance. Nothing? Thank you. Item 16, councilmember comments. Councilmember Stokes.
Thank you to Melinda for coming and alerting us to the dog situation. I'm sure we'll look into it further and figure out what's going on and try and come up with a solution. If you have a solution, please let us know. I think that's one of the most important parts of coming to make comments and helping us to find solutions because we don't have all the answers. Parks and Rec, always crushing it. Lots of senior activities going on. If you need a testament to that, ask Liz. She can tell you which ones to go to and which ones are the best. And Rita, thanks for all you do for the Northland Assistance Center.
Thank you, Councilmember Todd. Going around.
Yes. Ditto most of that, yes. Belinda, thank you so much for coming here to the formal table and bringing this to our attention. I also do want to say to anyone out there listening, if something happens in your area, in your neighborhood that you're concerned about, make a formal report immediately. That is always super helpful as well, because then if there's a second offense, if there is a pattern that starts to appear, it's easier to address those situations. And we all know how I feel about Facebook, so I won't repeat that, but just if you can make a formal report, if you're not sure who to make a formal report to, please just reach out to us. Call me, text me, email me. I will probably not have the answer, but I'll try and find it. Thanks.
Councilmember Saper.
No comments.
Councilmember Schneider.
For any other families in that neighborhood that have concerns, Mike, who would they report to? Who should they make those concerns known to? To the police
It'd be
department?
The police department.
Okay, I just wanted to, I wasn't sure. I thought people listening might wonder as well.
Yep.
Thank you, Councilmember Smith.
Happy New Year.
Councilmember Fitzgerald.
No comments.
Councilmember Alvarez.
No comments.
Councilmember Clark.
Thanks for the approval of tonight's next steps on River Forest Park. Thanks, staff.
Perfect. With that, we'll go to item, oh, that's me and I have nothing. There we go. Item 18, consideration of requests to hold and recess into an executive session as requested by the city councilor to be held on this date on a potential litigation matter pursuant to Missouri Revised Statute 610-0211.
So move.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Stokes?
Yes.
Councilmember Todd?
Yes.
Councilmember Saper?
Yes.
Councilmember Schneider,
Yes.
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Councilmember Alvarez,
Yes.
Councilmember Clark.
Yes.
Number 19, consideration of a request to hold and recess into an executive session as requested by the mayor to be held on the state on a contractual matter pursuant to Missouri Revised Statute 610-02112.
So moved.
Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Stokes, Councilmember Todd,
Yes.
Councilmember Saper.
Yes.
Councilmember Schneider,
Yes.
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Councilmember Alvarez.
Yes.
Councilmember Clark.
Yes.
With that, the live stream and Channel 2 will cut off. There'll be no further public business or votes taken this evening. Thank you.